I was reading you guys' post when you guys was talking about dating sumo wrestlers, a-hole, and these guys probably taller than a-hole anyway. So
Yes, we both are. Yeah.
But we're part
hard to
fans.
find him in the crowd. You're right. Hard to find him in the crowd.
We're both like huge fans, but like my fascination with sumo and what brought me into it was the history and the culture and like this traditional thing that people still do, and it's beautiful. And so I've always been interested in the culture, especially since I lived there, and I love the Japanese people. I loved everything about Japan and my experience there. But we both are dancers, but she comes from a dance background, so the
physicality
body
of
and the
it really interests me, in the training, and how people or how sumo has changed through the years and how it's continuing to change.
Wait, can we have a dog break?
Oh, who's that?
This is my friend Hoku, which is star in Hawaiian.
Oh. Hi, Hoku.
Oh my gosh.
Hoku's a troublemaker, man. He still a baby because he still wants to fight. He wants to play. Oh, and then he just kicked my computer down. Get him out of here.
We have a lot of questions that we've been dying to ask a sumo wrestler, things that they never talk about in the media that we're dying to
me on.
Okay.
Drop it.
Since you brought up dating earlier, how in the world do these guys have time to date? And how is that working in a sumo stable?
Once you get into the high rank, you got some flexibility because you don't do all the chores anymore. You have apprentices, which we call skibitos.
Right.
They do everything.
I have been calling them tsukibitos, but they're skibitos.
Skibito. So it's apprentice, and they do everything. They clean up, they wash you down, they set up your room and everything and stuff. And once you get higher, you date, you go out more because you get to meet more people, because to help the stable be afloat, you get to go out and meet people that actually sponsor the stables.
Yeah.
And you get to go out with all these high-end people, and they end up taking you to bars and stuff like that. So you meet a lot of great people, and and then the parties that we do all the time, there's girls all over the place.
Right.
And
you can't sneak a girl into the stable.
You can't even go in the stable because there's no privacy. There's no privacy in the stables.
Not even
they can come and visit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they could.
Yeah, you cannot, because there's only one door.
Oh, you cannot.
And then the bosses actually can know who comes in and out of that place all the 24/7.
Okay, so even the upstairs private rooms, there's none of that happening.
Not really private rooms, because all the doors are not locked anyway. And then you cannot really do it because everybody's there. Like, there's no way.
But that's why they all get married. They all get married so young and run out and live off campus, or
that's the only way they can get out, is get married and get out.
And then they have to get permission.
Yes. You got to get permission to get married. Well, the thing is, the reason for that is, again, the financial situation with sumo wrestlers is, if you don't get to the high rank, you don't get paid. So you cannot really afford to live off outside of the stable.
Right.
So your coaches would actually advise you and stuff like that. And then even if when you leave, a lot of guys hurt with this, because I hate to say, but a lot of these guys, they're getting supported by their wives. Because remember, once they get off, they leave outside of the stable, they can't come back. And if the only rank you cannot lose your rank, which means the only rank that you don't lose your pay is your kuzuna.
Right. And you have
everything
to retire.
else, once you lose your rank, everything you lose, once you lose the rank, you lose your pay too. So ladies, you got to remember, no salary, no money, right? So a lot of them struggle because of that. I'm glad I got out, because it was just kind of tiring just staying in the stable, because everything was closed down at 10 o'clock anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, they do date. They probably date some of the most beautiful ladies in the world, probably.
I got
married. This is my second marriage, but my first marriage was a beautiful lady that we were married for 9 years and stuff. But yeah, you get to meet a lot of people, and and it's hard to me. It's more a burden for a wife to be a sumo wrestler's wife, unless you're ready to actually follow the traditions and like bylaws of being a sumo wrestler, because you gotta be at every party and you gotta be in kimono. You gotta have that walk. You have to have that talk. You have to have that look. As a sumo wrestler's wife, it's so much pressure. My first marriage, I think the pressures that she had to go through, she didn't like. But I try to make excuses where she wouldn't go to my bosses or my kwami-san, because I felt the pressures that they feel like they have to go kind of watch where they say, and they go there, they just say nothing, just like they're just doing this all through like 2 hours and a half of a party.
Yeah. Oh, that's so hard. You give yourself to somebody else's career.
Yes.
And as a woman,
yes,
I mean, that's got to be so hard. Your identity is not necessarily your own, and you're living a traditional life.
Even with a Japanese woman, yeah, at the time, it's for them, they can handle it. But if you do it, if your career is short, then yeah. But if your career is kind of long, man, you gotta do that along the way.
It's long time.
It's hard. It's not made for everybody.
Okay, next
so
question. I have another weird one. I have this idea of what it's like backstage at a sumo tournament. Okay, real quick questions. Is there a hot tub anywhere?
Yes.
Yes, I knew it. I knew there had to be a good Japanese bath. Do you all get it in together?
Yeah, we got about 4 or 5 guys who can get in.
Amazing. Are there ice baths back there, or just the hot tub?
No, just the hot tub. Because we only use it during the tournament. We go in there. I can be honest with you, but the sumo has the shittiest facilities in any professional sport in the world. Any professional, no, for real.
I've noticed when I look at the walls that you're like, they could stand to do a tile, like retile that. They could stand to like do a little upgrade.
It's so old school, like really? It's so old school. It's something that I hope in my lifetime I'll find a way to change it. I've been trying to change things slowly, because there's the other thing too is people are gonna realize sumo is actually under government, and they're like half nonprofit. So the thing is, to protect the culture, protect sumo, I think the government got it in a place where we're not supposed to make money from it too. It's crazy, right? You're killing yourself. You're broken your fingers. You're broken your damn knees. You're bleeding. You're bruising, but that is something that we realize, that we understand. But the prestige and the loyalty that the community or Japan sees sumo is so different. The loyalty, like when you can put a top baseball player or basketball player, but you put a sumo wrestler, it's a different look. Like you're like part of emperor's family kind of thing. The respect we get is so different. And I noticed that when we used to do like TV shows on TV with very famous baseball players who are getting millions of dollars, with us just getting a few $1,000s a month. But the way they respect us on TV or even in the backstage is big difference, So I guess that's something that, I'm proud that I was part of, but at the same time, it's a lot of taking in, a lot of accepting, and, so that's the good part of it. For me, I cannot say I've had a bad career, because I've been supported really well by a lot of people. All my cars I had, all my brand new cars was actually given to me. And, the first Rolex watch that was given to me, that I didn't know what Rolex was. I'm a country kid from Waianae. I don't know shit about freaking high-end things. I didn't know what Louis Vuitton was, so people would give me all this stuff, and then my friends who would travel from Hawaii or from the States to come visit me in Japan, they'll see the bags in my room and they say, "Bro, you got some nice bags." I go, "Bro, you like them? You can have it." They took all my bags. I never had a bag. I never was into high-end stuff. I even gave away a Rolex that I had. It's a diver's watch that was given to me.
Yeah.
And then I just gave it to one of my good friends. I said, "You can have it." Yeah, this is Rolex, bro. Who cares? It says the same time that with my G-Shock over here. My G-Shock is $50 and it says the same time. I don't see any difference. I never was into the money side. But the biggest, one of my biggest Rolex was like a $67,000 Rolex.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy bought me one early in my career. So they're very giving. That's one thing of Japanese culture. To support a sumo wrestler, for them, it's like luck. It's a good luck charm for them. That's why a lot of corporates help individually. Because if you're not helping a sumo wrestler, you're not a successful company. So I have had companies like Mizuno, McDonald's Japan, you name it. I met all these high honcho presidents, and I was so glad I did because I learned from them more than anything else. It's not really the gift, but the way they think, and that's helped me for after post career, right?
Yeah.
You know, so the things I do now, I listen to them, and I've listened to the way they talk, the way they handle the things in their companies, and I learned from the best. So, you know, and the bottom line is people don't get rich falling asleep. They're fucking working, always working.